Wow.
He's got a
Sad.
lot of one shots
He
in his acting career.
a lot of one shots. Like what?
Yeah, just like Hill Street Blues, one episode as the cab customer,
Yeah.
the White Shadow as basketball player, Fame as Billy Walters, the A-Team. Just
Well, the guy kept
science.
the guy kept working.
Yeah. I mean, he was on a Perry Mason movie.
As a matter of fact, I think I remember him in a movie, The New Guy. Was he in the New Guy?
Yeah, in 2002, he played the coach.
Okay, yeah. I thought I kept recognizing that guy pop up everywhere. Yeah, man. He's hey, look. I know he's not a extremely well-known guy. It's not somebody you go off and nobody's going to go off and write these deep obituaries about him and give him the praise like they did for somebody like.
That's where I know him from.
Where?
Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. He was Lord Bowler.
Oh, he was in that?
Yeah, I love that show as a kid too. So
well, nobody's gonna go in and give him some big obituary or praise like Bernie Mac or like who's the director that just died recently? Jeez, that's terrible that I can't remember that guy's name because he's big. No. What? God, now that I said it, we got to remember it. I feel bad about this.
Me too. I don't even know who you're talking about.
He directed oh man, 3 Days of the Condor. Jesus, that's horrible, man. I can't remember his name.
I'm just gonna go look at that.
People, when I get in front of a camera, in front of a mic, things just slip my mind. I was playing
like I just said. And you said no. It was Sidney Pollack.
Oh, Sidney Pollack. I'm glad I thought of that. No, you were wrong, man. No.
Rewind the MP3.
Man, I was playing Trivia Pursuit once, and somebody had a question about Pretty Woman, and I forgot who Julia Roberts was on the spot. That's just me. That's why I'm not. People who think I'm a movie buff, I'm not. I'm bad at trivia, mainly because I just can't remember shit half the time, even when I know who it is. But Sidney Pollack, yeah, he's not gonna get some big thing like Sidney Pollack or anybody, you know. Yeah. So, but he will. Hey, look, I remember the guy from a lot of movies, and everybody remembers Show Enough from The Last Dragon. So, God bless that guy.
Favorite kung fu sort of kind of movies ever.
that movie is so bad it's good, man. I love that movie. And and The Shining wrote something about him. So Shining, I'm gonna put your post up probably later on tonight. We've been getting so many postings from people on the site that it's kind of hard to give people equal time now, and I've been trying to do it. It's just, and you guys have been doing a kick-ass job putting in work into your blogs.
Yeah, a lot of really good blogs from a lot of users.
Yeah, no, you have been. Right now, we're changing the page up to where we can at least probably. This is what I last heard. We're putting up a headline section so that even if you don't get a picture with your stuff on the front page, at least the headline will be there and it will be featured on the front page. So we're trying to accommodate. I mean, this whole thing is growing and we're learning as we go along. So yeah, keep them coming, man. We're going to make this better. So
if you gave me a reason to use my Twitter, I'm going to follow you guys right now.
Really? No, that's good. No, and I don't even update as much as I do. Last Twitter I did was probably 2 months ago. I was in Houston. Okay, I think Carlisle did that Twitter. The last Twitter that I did, I was in. It's such a bad thing that I'm always talking about getting drunk, but apparently this is my life. I was in Houston. I got bored. And I went out driving, and everything was closed except this one place where they played Tejano music. There were a bunch of Mexicans in there. Nobody spoke English. I ordered a lot of beer, got drunk, and was out there dancing like I was crazy with people who didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I'm sure they were saying El Negro es Stupido when they were looking at me. So, hey, El Negro. So yeah, I put that on Twitter. I'm like, I'm drunk right now, and I'm at a place where they don't speak English. Yeehaw!
Oh man, that iPhone is dangerous, man. It's dangerous.
That iPhone is bad, man. Yeah, that iPhone, it gives me too much connection to the world 24 hours a day.
Gotta leave that in the glove box next time you go in a bar.
I know. I'm at a gay bar, and the experience isn't bad. So, I'm in my underwear. Now, yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, so anyway, you want to get into some email?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because none
of this is going to be directed towards me, so...
Well, that doesn't mean that you can't answer. That doesn't mean that you can't answer. You've been a good host so far. I mean, it's
well, thank you.
No, you've been a great host, man. Because that's all I'm looking for. Somebody who can talk, have a sense of humor, and
welcome to co-host 4,000.
There you go. And just know and just know stuff. No more than I do. Like I said, I'm not a movie buff, man. I come out.
I try. My brain is so full of just useless facts about DJs and records.
Well, that'll be for the DJ show I'm starting up. But don't bring that shit in here. No, I'm kidding. No, it's cool, man. No, I know stuff about movies. I keep up with stuff, but really, I like to call myself someone who loves to just make people laugh and have a conversation with people and meet friends. Don't consider me a movie buff. I do that at parties and people say, "Hey, Corey knows." I'm like, "No, don't look at me. I don't know shit." All right, I'm not a know-it-all. All right, I know nothing. Okay, I'm a dumbass. That's all I know. I'm retarded. So let's go ahead and get into our first email here, which is, and let me see. Okay, with this one, damn, I forgot the name on this. Sorry about that. And you know what? We already answered this anyway. It's another 20th Century Fox question. So chances are we answer your question. So hell no, I ain't going through that again. I'll be another hour and a half of a show. Okay, here's a question here. And this is a pretty good one. I'd like to get your opinion on this, Kent. Okay. This is from I Won an Emmy. And he says,
did you?
And I seriously doubt he did. That's just, I won an Emmy.
I'm changing my name right now. I won an Oscar.
Okay. Good evening. Yes, I won an Oscar. No, his name is
Nobel Prize winner says.
No, his first name is I Won an Emmy. His last name is I'm Full of Shit. So let's go ahead and get to his question here. It says, I'm aspiring to be a filmmaker and have been so for a really long time. I wanted to be just like Quentin Tarantino and make movies like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. I have a good friend who also wants to be a filmmaker. I kind of saw us two as Quentin and Tarantino. Quentin and Robert. Two buds making cool movies, but and that's Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I saw us kind of as Quentin and Robert Rodriguez. Two buds making cool movies, but as time passed, I realized how immature professionally Tarantino's films can be and how Robert Rodriguez makes movies we've seen before. Plus, I heard Robert Rodriguez left the mother of his kids for Rose McGowan. They're really just not my cup of tea anymore.
Oh.
And then they want to know, I was wondering if there are any childhood heroes you have grown out of. Oh, well, I'm sure there are. There's a lot for me. And as far as the Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez thing, look, Robert Rodriguez is a legend. I don't like all his movies. In fact, the two movies.
It's unwatchable.
What's that?
I find any film he's made for children, I find completely unwatchable.
Well, I'll give him a little. I'll tell you this much. I'm trying to be nice here, and I'm trying not to come in and be snarky. I mean, Robert Rodriguez is a legend. All right, he did something at the age of 23, which is amazing. He made El Mariachi, and that's still one of my favorite movies. I haven't had a favorite movie from him until what is it? Sin City. And even Sin City I'd had problems with, and it's not one of my favorite movies, but I like that movie a lot.
Oh, me too. I love that movie.
Yeah, and Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown.
Love Jackie Brown. The more I watch it, the more I realize it's his best film. I don't care what anybody says.
Jackie Brown, I think
Tarantino's best work.
I will tell you what, there are a few movies that I can watch over and over again. Pulp Fiction is one. For some reason, Training Day is one. There's a very small movie called The Woman Chaser that is one. A movie you will never be able to find. If you want to see that movie, talk to me. I'll be glad to send you a copy because it's an amazing movie if you ask me, and nobody will ever see it. And then there's
that's not a movie you made, is it?
Man, by Carrie Coleman. No, it's not a movie I made, you son of a bitch. No. And Jackie Brown is one movie and the guy who made The Woman Chaser, is a guy named Robinson DeFore. He recently made a movie called Zoo, which is a documentary about men who had sex with horses. Not one of my favorite movies, right there.
I've seen that movie, and it creeped the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's sort of innovative the way he decided to take the approach for a documentary, but still it's about fucking horses, and I was kind of bored even by that. So, but when you see a movie that's about fucking horses, you should be like, damn. That's going to be some exciting shit. I might not like it, but I'm in. It's going to be interesting. But no, I saw that movie. I'm like, it makes you want to say, okay, when are they going to have sex with the horse? That's all I'm looking forward to.
But just pop in the end of Clerks 2 instead.
Yeah, exactly. No, but no, I'm watching. I'm watching Jackie Brown. I'm like, this movie I can watch over and over again. And Quentin Tarantino is an innovative filmmaker. They both are in certain ways. Now, so I don't want to talk shit against them because they made their mark. But I can understand you being into these guys and later on saying, you know what? They're not the guys that I thought they were. Because actually, I myself, I am not this genre person who loves the whole idea of I'm going to remake everything that I grew up with. I loved 80s sci-fi and horror movies. I love 70s action films. I'm going to retread those movies and bring them into my own career.
That's fun for a little bit, and I'd love to see other people do it. But filmmakers who get stuck on that kind of thing just kind of it bothers me. You know, because especially when you were so groundbreaking yourself, why backtrack?
Exactly. I like Grindhouse. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I liked Planet Terror. I thought it was fun. It was okay, and I liked the fact that these two guys experiment. Look, for all my bad talk about them, they experiment with things, and I thought Grindhouse was a cool experiment, like Planet Terror. But what's the other one? Death Proof. I was bored by it. I'm sorry, and it was Quentin Tarantino repeating everything that he had done, and these are two guys that get a pass on things that they do, whether they're good or bad.
I think backlash on that now, though, a little bit. I mean,
what, Death Proof?
With the whole Grindhouse cinema thing, I think that because that movie technically was a failure. It was a really expensive experiment.
Yeah, and they released it on Easter weekend, and the movie came in at fourth place, and so Quentin Tarantino is a guy that experiments with things, and he's influenced by what he is, and he'll make great movies, and he'll make some movies that I think are not that great. Death Proof is a movie where, look, he went and had all this dialogue in his movie. Had it been anybody else doing that these girls talking for as long as they were, and no action was going on, I don't care how much you say, well, that's what a Grindhouse movie is like. It was boring, all right?
It was very boring.
And not only that, but it was him repeating things about movie knowledge and music knowledge that, okay, Quentin Tarantino, we know you know a lot about these past histories of music and movies. I don't need for you to prove that to me anymore, all right? Give me some real dialogue, and he got it. What's that?
He didn't really stick to the formula either. That film changes as it goes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he made his Grindhouse film, but I think Robert's the only one who actually stuck to the formula for that double feature.
Yeah, and that's true. And I look at but what happens though, where other people would say the grind, and they even heard this said, yeah, the dialogue wasn't that good, but hey, you know what? That's Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, so why do we give him a pass then? Just because he's Quentin Tarantino? You know, were you bored? Yeah. So, okay, just say that to me then.
Yeah, be honest.
Now, if you really like that, you say, look, I thought the dialogue was great. I felt these were real people. That's your opinion. I'm not going to argue with you. But if you come and tell me, oh, that sucked, and then you say, but it was him. Yeah, I know you'll start shit with him. Because people hate your ass sometimes because I don't know what you
lines before your mama joke.
But and then I look at even Kill Bill. I did not love. I like the second part of Kill Bill, but the first part I'm like, this is filmed well. There's some great cinematography going on, some great acting, but this is regurgitation of stuff that I've seen done better in its own element at its own time. Yeah. That's the only complaint I have with these guys here. Other than that, I'm not going to take away from their accomplishments because, hey, given what they do, they've had some influence on an industry that would otherwise be stale. All right.
Totally. Yeah.
And I appreciate that about them. I mean, I like everything they do.
Both really help the independent film movement. And, getting back to the actual, question in the email, start your own thing. Be your own guy. Don't try to be, a director you really looked up to. Because, I mean, looking up to Tarantino, looking up to Rodriguez, it's almost redundant. Because their career is based on looking up to somebody else.
Exactly. No, that's true.
What I mean? So, I mean, if you dig their films, cool, but, do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you, Kent. You know what? You couldn't have said it better yourself. Trying to repeat what these guys do is very redundant because that's what they've done. Even though I'm reading the script because it's already spilled out, no pun intended there, really no pun intended, but I'm reading the script for Inglourious Bastards.
I'm going to get an email of that later, right?
Well, it's already out there, man. From what I heard, it's going everywhere. Now, somebody sent it to me, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything about this. I'm just going to read it, and that's it. But I heard that it's floating around now.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I'm a big fan of the original. So,
well, I don't think it's anything like the original, and I have to say that it could either be very artsy or it could be very cool. But I'm reading it. I'm really into it right now, and I love to see what Quentin Tarantino does with this, man.
Emmy winner. Back to that email. Also, pick up a book if you do like Rodriguez still. He wrote a book called
Rebel Without a Crew.
Rebel Without a Crew, or how a 23-year-old with $6,000 shook up the Hollywood industry, or something like that. But Rebel Without a Crew is a great read.
Man, let me tell you something. That's one of the best books I've ever read. It really is.
I've read that 3 or 4 times.
It's a great book. It really is. Get that book if you want to be a filmmaker. It is very inspiring. But don't just take this and say I want to be like Robert Rodriguez. If you want to make movies, you're going to make movies. All right, that's what it comes down to. You don't need anybody to. I mean, yeah, people are inspired. Yes, let me change that. People are inspired every day, man. It's how inspired you are and what you do with it. And so go out and do. And you're right, Kent. Go out and do your own thing. Find your own voice.
Just get a camera. Get access to a camera. Get some friends. Start making short films.
Yeah, there you go. So
that's how you're going to do it. If you're going to try and break into an indie type of industry, you got to start making short films.
Yeah. As far as people that I've grown out of, there's some people who I've grown in and out of over the years. George Lucas being the most obvious one. Yeah, I'm sorry. George Lucas is still my hero because I'm going to take the same approach with Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. I might not like everything he does, but he definitely has had a great influence on the films that we see today. So, anybody with you, man?
Oh, man. Not really. I had a weird, for me it was Christopher Reeve was a big one when I was a kid. And I still haven't grown out of loving his movies. So.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
No, that's really
cool. Okay, that's cool. Let's move on to a couple of more here, and because I gotta get out of here, I'm supposed to be out of here at 9:30. Let's see.
My bad.
No, no, it's not you, man. It's me. I'm not blaming you. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm looking at. I got a lot of email down from here, and okay, I'll get to this one right here. This should be a good one.
Dear Corey, what's up with Kent? He's a jerk.
Fuck him. No, well, I'm sure I'll get that next week. But you've been pretty cool on here, man. You've actually been very good. I'm not going to even lie. I don't care what people say about you, man. You're a good co-host. So, let's see. Okay, we got a message here from Aaron Litchfield, and it says, "Hey, Corey, as you may have heard, they are intending to make an Artemis Fowl movie. Now, I am from the UK, and here Artemis Fowl is almost as popular as Harry Potter. Shudder. I love Adrian Fowl. But what do you think the film is going to be like? Harry Potter? Do you think it's going to be like Harry Potter and do well, or like The Golden Compass and do horribly? First of all, Kent, have you heard of Artemis Fowl?
I have no clue what this dude's talking about.
Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. Look, it might do well, it might not. It depends on how they make the movie and market it. And if it has a big enough budget, then great. And if the movie's good, it'll do well, and it will probably continue to do well. If it's not that good, then it'll probably do like The Golden Compass and not be seen again. But no, it will not do as good as Harry Potter because, as you can see, I looked it up, and it's
nothing was as good as Harry Potter. No. Harry Potter's one of those few film series that has hit after hit after hit, 5 films in a row. Find me a film series that did that.
It's a cool premise. Look, I looked up Artemis Fowl because I know nothing about it. And apparently it has a few fans here in America. But unlike Harry Potter, everybody has heard of Harry Potter. Shit, my dad is in the VA hospital dying, and he's heard of Harry Potter. He's been like, "When's the next Harry Potter movie coming out? I want to see that before I die." I mean, everybody knows Harry Potter. Nobody knows who the fuck Artemis Fowl is. But Artemis Fowl apparently is
nothing recognizable is even coming up.
Yeah, no. Well, they said that this movie, they described it as Die Hard with fairies. Hey, that's cool. And in the like so we got a gay Bruce.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? We got a gay Bruce Willis in the movie then, a gay John McClane.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Seriously.
Okay, I know. Gay people are like, what? Don't you make fun of me like that? No, I'm kidding. All right, But seriously, I you know me. Look, if fantasy shit gets too corny, I'll be the first to tell you I'm just not into it. I got my ass kicked too many times for liking wizards and shit, so I got a little syndrome over that. But no, Artemis Fowl sounds kind of like a cool premise. It's a kid who's apparently a criminal mastermind who wants to go out and get money. Because of course I Wikipedia'd it, and here's what I got. It's written by an Irish author named Eoin Colfer, and it stars the teenage criminal mastermind Artemis Fowl II. Let's see, Artemis, who is the main character, is the ruthless and extremely intelligent young criminal whose main goal is the acquisition of money through a variety of often illegal schemes. Although his values change towards the fifth book, the author summed it up as Die Hard with Fairies.
So why would you say that about your own work?
So yeah, well, apparently it did well enough. So if there's going to, they say that there is a film based on the series is under development. Just don't let 20th Century Fox do it. So that's my advice to you.
Give that shit to Sony.
Give it to Sony or Warner Brothers. Look at what Warner Brothers did with Harry Potter.
First, I'd say leave Warner Brothers' plate open for more DC stuff. Give it to Sony.
Okay, fair enough. Or Universal, but yeah. So we know nothing about Artemis Fowl apparently over here in America. Maybe there's a few fans out there who are getting upset right now. I'm American, you son of a bitch, and I know Mr. Artemis Fowl.
That sounds like a cool premise, though. I would watch a kid who robs people.
That's what we need, man. Teenage criminal mastermind. That's cool.
Wait, wasn't there a movie like that like a few years ago about thieves just bombed horribly?
Shit, I don't know, man. If it bombed, we ain't heard about it. But hey, look, it sounds like a cool premise. I'd be glad to see it, Aaron. But here in America, apparently, we don't know anything about Artemis Fowl. So
I'll go get an audiobook and then I'll write a blog.
Yeah, there you go. Are you write a blog about it, Aaron, and spread the word to us dumb Americans about Mr. Fowl. So. Fuck Artemis Fowl. I don't want to hear that shit. I'll wait for the movie, and then I'll decide. I ain't going to read this shit.
Why does every cover look like a bad anime?
Okay. Did you see that cover on there in Wikipedia? Yeah. Dude stand up there in a suit, legs too big. Got that tiny head. I'm Artemis Fowl.
Spiky hair, goggles. Great.
Yeah, goddamn, wearing these long ass pants and shit. You been shopping at the Big and Tall Man shop? Look at this shit.
It looks like a Death Note type of thing going on.
So I got an email here, and let me just clear this up for the young kids out there. This comes from Brendan, and he says, I don't mean to bother you or anything, but I was just wondering how to get in touch with someone in charge of Warner Brothers Studio. I have an idea and wanted to talk to someone in charge at Warner Brothers about it. I know it's a long shot, but nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Can I handle this one a little bit?
Well, no, yeah, you can. I just want to say, our influence is strong and wide, and we have our hands in a lot of things. But talking to the head of Warner Brothers Studio is not one of them. I mean, I'm flattered that you would think that I could walk my ass up into Warner Brothers tomorrow morning and be like, yeah, I want to talk to Mr. Head of Warner Brothers right now. I have somebody on our website has an idea and I want to pitch it to you. I mean, I am flattered, but it don't work like that.
No, not quite. What you can do though is if you legitimately feel like you have a good idea, write a treatment for it. Have someone help you edit it. I don't know how old this kid is. Have someone help you edit it, and then take it to some kind of agent and make sure they've got your back, and call the Warner Brothers switchboard because that's worked for some people.
Really?
Yeah, you can. Some companies you can just call the switchboard and set up an appointment. Maybe not with the head, but you can set up an appointment with somebody who's in charge of some kind of creative, in some creative way. And you can set up an appointment if you have some legitimate representation.
Oh, shit, man. So, I'm going to go pitch my Talking Pony script to them.
Do it.
No.
Chances are Fox will want to make it.
And I don't even want to make a net. So, now they'll keep me on my own movie. You work on the internet? Get the fuck out of here. But I may get the fuck out of here. Well, it ain't gonna be shit anyway. So no, I would look, Brendan. Actually, I mean, what Ken is saying, as you say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I say go do this. I didn't know you could do this if this is true. So hey.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how a lot of people get through for certain ideas. You just call the switchboard. You gotta practice your phone call. You know.
Okay.
If you call and you go, can I talk to so and so? It's gonna come off really bad.
All right. Well, there you go.
But, set up your own fake, person. So it sounds like I'm so-and-so calling on behalf of so-and-so trying to reach so-and-so. That always sounds legitimate.
All right. Well, there you have it. From the mouth of Kent. You have more of a shot at doing this probably through his way than mine. My advice, Brendan, was going to be, and I think I wrote you back and said this, go out and just do stuff. I mean, look. Let's not lie. I mean, I think that you're a young kid, and you probably think that it's just like that, even though I lived with a guy who was in his 20s and thought that he could handwrite out a script for Darth Vader versus Boba Fett and send this to George Lucas himself. I'm not lying about that.
Wow.
So, yeah, he even had
a picture written it over Clone Wars.
And I would have, too. I would have watched, and he drew some pictures with some, I'm not lying, I'm talking about a 20-something-year-old guy drew some pictures on there with crayon and everything, wrote it out, and said, I'm going to see what George Lucas thinks about this. I was like, yeah, I would love to see where this goes. Please, send it off.
I've seen the room where all that stuff goes.
In a fucking trash can before it's even gotten to the studio. At the post office, it's like, oh, another one. They throw that shit away for him now. But yeah, no. The way to start out doing stuff, man, it's like most of what you see your famous directors doing and writers. They did it. They spent a lot of their young life writing scripts, shooting movies on their own. Spielberg, M. Night Shyamalan, George Lucas, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, all these guys. I mean, that's just for starters. A lot of these people spent their time doing stuff when they weren't in the business. That's how they broke in, and now they're legends. So do that, man. You're young. Spend your time being creative. Don't sit around talking about what you're going to do. Do it. And that's going to separate you from everybody and put you ahead of the game. That's what I think. So, but Kent said you can just walk up in there and just talk to anybody. So,
I don't know how old he is. If he's like 17, he might, have a chance.
Well, hey, I'm the God bless him, man.
Representation is everything.
I do not want to discourage anyone from doing what they want to do, because God knows I had plenty of people tell me I was a dumbass for even wanting to do something like this, what we're doing right now. So, but I am, but that never stopped me. So, so please, even if it's a crazy idea, do it, because even the dumbasses have their place to shine sometime. But, okay, Ken, I got to get on out of here. I have a meeting with the head of Universal in a little while. So,
I slap him about Wanted, because that was...
Oh, shit, they'll slap me back and be like, bitch, you know how much money that made? So I got to go do that. Then I have to go play tennis tomorrow with the head of Sony Pictures. So yeah, you got any scripts you want me to take to him?
Oh, man, I'm thinking about writing a screenplay for The Boys. Okay. It's my comic recommendation. I know that's more of a Leog thing, but read The Boys by Warren Ellis.
Yeah, that sounds like a gay film, but all right.
Not for kids at all.
Okay. All right. Well, look, you go ahead and write that tonight, and I'll take it over there when I'm going to the tennis match tomorrow. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. I'll fax it.
All right. Well, this has been a couple of cold ones with Corey and Kent, DJ Kent Aaron, and I'm thinking about maybe doing this down the line. In addition to what we normally do, maybe having people, if I could figure out a process for people to submit things to me. Maybe doing a guest spot for people down the line. I mean, it would be.
I'd like to see Aaron do a podcast.
Well, I want to have a process for doing it, because I want to know how old you are. I want to know that you can actually do well on radio, and I want to know that you can actually have something to say and keep up. And I want to know how much knowledge you have about movies, because I don't want somebody hanging out with me, sitting there and being quiet, and then I got to do most of the work, and you're dull. I mean, you can't do that. Because I'm going to hang up and say, fuck this, we can't do it, and I'll start over with something else. So, yeah, if you're good enough personality and you think you could do this, I'm not saying I'm doing this, but I am planning on doing this down the line.
If you have half the competence I do.
Yeah, half. Because believe me, this arrogant motherfucker right here. But
oh yeah, I just got called arrogant a little while ago. I was like, I'm gonna be on the Coco. Someone's like,
now don't you go bragging to people about this now, telling people how you and I are. I'm making you vice president of Spill or some shit. Okay, don't you go around telling people crazy shit.
Making me? I'm taking vice presidency of Spill.
Okay, you gonna kick my ass? You like a supervillain yourself? And get me out of there. All right. So, in the party for Spill, I'm kind of planning it right now for October, maybe preferably October 18th is the day. Now, I'm not saying this will happen. I have Cyrus actually helping me out with this. I told him to go and look for some stuff and maybe find some places and whatnot. He's good at that kind of thing. Hey, he set us up with Tyrese, so you know we might get Tyrese to perform at the party. He's got those kind of connections. No, that's a rumor. I'm not. That's not true. I'm not saying that'll happen. But
at least you'll have me playing records.
Yeah, we'll get DJ Kent. We'll put up and say, coming, Tyrese. And when they get there, we're like, oh, Tyrese canceled, but we have the great DJ Kent. People set that bitch on fire. Anyway, so I got to get out of here, man. I got to make this show. Right. But it was great. I had a great time with you.
It was a blasty blast.
What'd you say?
It was a blasty blast.
Okay, this is time to get the hell on out of here with that kind of talk. Say goodnight, Kent.
Good night, Kent.
Oh, shit. All right. This is not a minute too soon for us to leave. Good night, everybody. Thank you.